Today I'd like to talk about something that in the occult communities and various religious communities that don't seem to be talked much about, and that is as we grow and start learning our past and our past lessons being taught, we start to undergo a certain process where we start to change our ideas and our beliefs and views. We start shattering those false realities and false ideas that we've had put in place that in a way kind of protected us for something that we were not ready to deal with at the time. As an occult practitioner, I remember when I first started, I was always had that curiosity, but when I finally started to be taught and started to learn, we go through our lessons. But the one lesson that even us as teachers, we don't talk about or tell our students is that first year. We're learning our lessons, the LVR, how to lay out a ritual circle, the elements, how magic works. But this whole time, we're going through each of these steps. There's also a change that's happening within us. And we don't realize what's going on. We just know we start to feel different. We start questioning more things about ourselves, until eventually we reach a point to where we find ourselves in a very dark place. We feel like we're walking a tunnel that has no light, and there's no light to be seen. And as we do this, we're starting to realize more about ourselves, more about the past we have chosen in the past that's led up to this point. And we start realizing that we've built all these illusions in our mind through all these false ideas, and they slowly start shattering and come crashing down, and it leaves us in a state of we feel lost. It's like we just don't. It's like everything around us don't fit in. And as we continue on, we're doing our daily works and studies, and we're steadily opening ourselves up more and more. But at the same time, we're questioning ourselves more. What do I want? And we're going more off feel now than we have previous in our lives. And at about this point, we're at a stage where, the things we thought we believed in, things we used to, it just felt comfortable. It was the norm. It becomes to a point it's foreign to us. It's not right, because now our sight's opening up more. We're more in touch with the things around us, and we're starting to see the world in a different sight, and we're starting to see things for what they are, and we no longer fit in to the things we used to. And about this point, that's when all the reality of things starts coming. We start realizing that there's more out there than what we first thought. We start to realize that we've been our own stumbling block. And we keep searching for something that's at that point is not tangible. we start realizing all of our faults, our mistakes. Things are slowly progressing, and we start seeing a new perspective, the need for change. And at that point, we pretty much will find ourselves in a very dark place. And as we open up, we start walking, in a way we're walking blindly. We think we're alone, nobody's there. In truth, there's many things there that are guiding us, picking us up. And we start to feel more, see more. We start to realize that what we once were is no longer there. And what we've done throughout these lessons that we've been taught, we've opened ourselves up more, and we've broken all these false realities. We've opened our minds to where it was meant to be. We're now starting to get more control over ourselves, which is the first step of mastery. One must know how to master themselves, which in truth, one will never truly master themselves in any lifetime. It's a constant. We're constantly finding new things to master and become a part of us. But before, we didn't see that. We thought we were in complete control. We set these illusions up. Our minds set these illusions up to keep us from, in a way, to protect us from things that we weren't ready for at that time, or things we may fear. I heard somebody once said, it's like we're like a stone going through a stream. As it goes down the stream, and all constantly bouncing up and down off the riverbed, it's slowly knocking the edges off, smoothing the rock, to when it finally washes ashore. Sure, it's a nice polished object. That's what we're, in this process, that's what we're doing. We're polishing ourselves. We're cleansing our temple. We're removing all the false realities from ourselves. All the things that's held us back. We're no longer living in an illusion. We're seeing things as it really is. Until you reach that one day where you just wake up and it's like everything is different. It's like you just been you're waking up for the first time into a whole new world. And that's the feeling you have when you finally reach that point. Then you realize that all these lessons that we've been taught, it was to open our mind and help free us. We were cleansing our temple. We was building our foundation. We were shattering all the illusions that we've put in place ourselves or were taught. We are now completely free from what most people consider the normal world. And from that point on, we realize that there's so much more out there. There's so much more that we can learn. And as we go through this process, this is where probably 75% of people that do get into practicing magic, this is where they will either be broken or realize that this path and lifestyle is not for them at that time. And what we have to realize is that everybody talks about balance. Everything's got to be in harmony. Well, the truth is, when it comes to balance, there's no growth. We need opposition and chaos. And that's what our teachers do. They know us, but they know you better than you know yourself. And their job is to sit there, push those buttons, to make you realize, see, and through all those lessons that you're learning, they're doing the same thing. They're showing you what you need to do. They're opening you up so you can be guided down that path. You know, some people say, well, you're a capitalist, you're a Satanist, you're a Muslim. And the truth is that no matter what religious belief you are, they all have their truths in them. But most people, because of the way we've been taught, or because we choose not to believe that there is no other religion that is right, we've set an illusion. Already we set something that our mind will trigger, and there may be something there that we need to learn from. You know, people ask you, what path do you follow? You follow the left hand, right hand path. What are you? Well, I'm me. I am that I am. I don't follow the left nor the right. I walk within both. Because I know, I've come to realize through that process that everything has an aspect, has a part in my life that has an influence on it. And it's up to me to make sure that those aspects are acknowledged and understood, and to make them a part of my everyday being. And that's what is the lessons that go untold, because it is something that it's hard to explain. Plus it's, nobody wants to admit that they were ever down to where they didn't think there was no coming back. No one likes being in that dark place where you feel alone. So we don't talk about it. And that's the first thing to understanding is, before you can go do anything, you've got to learn to master yourself. In that first part of learning, that first 6 months, year, however long it takes for you to learn those steps, that's all part of a grand process. Most people, they're not going to do ritual work starting off the gate, because they don't have that mastery to be able to control themselves within a circle, or control the energies that are coming or need to be directed in a different way, because there's those stumbling blocks that it's like a warning flag that goes up, oh, something's wrong, and it'll just you'll shut down, because you don't know how to, you've yet to understand that there is no warning sign, that this is a part of the process that has to go on. Until you can learn that, you cannot go any farther. So for all of you that experience this and go through this, you're not the only ones. And for those of you that are going through it now,